I trusted my husband completely until one quiet Tuesday rewrote everything I thought I knew. I used to believe betrayal announced itself loudly. Lipstick on collars, late night calls, a guilty stumble in excuses. I was wrong. Mine arrived quietly, on a Tuesday that smelled like burnt coffee and lemon cleaner. The kind of ordinary day that never warns you it's about to ruin your life. I had been married to Evan for 12 years. We met when I was 26, both of us broke, hopeful, and convinced love was enough to outpace anything ugly. He worked in finance, always tidy, always calm. I was a project manager, the one who remembered birthdays, doctor appointments, the exact way he liked his eggs. We built routines that felt unbreakable. Sunday grocery runs, shared passwords, shared jokes that only made sense to us. I trusted him the way you trust gravity. That Tuesday, I came home early because a meeting was canceled. I remember feeling oddly pleased, imagining surprising him with dinner before he got back. His car was already in the driveway, which was unusual. Inside, the house was silent. No music, no TV, just the hum of the fridge and a faint tapping sound from the office. I stood in the hallway listening, telling myself not to be paranoid. When I pushed the door open, Evan didn't jump or look guilty. He smiled, casual, like nothing in the world was wrong. He was on his laptop, a spreadsheet open, coffee cooling beside him, but something was off. His phone buzzed. He flipped it face down without thinking. A tiny movement, almost loving in how practiced it was. That night, I asked him if everything was okay. He laughed, kissed my forehead, told me I worried too much. I hated myself for believing him again. The truth came in pieces. A credit card statement with hotel charges in a city he claimed he hadn't visited. A receipt folded too carefully in his jacket pocket. Emails he swore were work-related, but somehow never included me. Each discovery made me smaller, quieter, like I was shrinking to fit inside the lie he was building. I didn't confront him right away. I watched. I learned. Bitter regret settled into my bones. Not just regret for loving him, but for loving him blindly, for defending him to friends, for ignoring the voice that whispered something was wrong long before I had proof. One night, months later, I finally asked him directly. He didn't deny it. He sighed as if relieved, and told me it just happened, that it didn't mean anything, that he still loved me. He said all the words men say when they want forgiveness without consequences. I slept in the guest room for weeks. We talked about counseling, about rebuilding trust, about starting over. He promised transparency. He promised change. I nodded, numb, already grieving the woman I used to be. Here's the part people don't expect. I stayed. Not because I believed him, but because I needed time. Time to be sure. Time to plan. Time to let my bitterness sharpen into clarity. On another quiet Tuesday, a year later, I handed him divorce papers. He looked stunned, betrayed even. He asked how I could do this when things were finally good. I told him the truth then, the real one. I hadn't just discovered his affair that first Tuesday. I discovered a separate savings account in my name only, funded quietly for years by his business bonuses. Money he'd been hiding, not from me, but from his own risky habits. When I filed, I already owned the house outright. I already had proof. I already had my exit. He thought betrayal was the worst thing he'd done to me. It wasn't. The worst thing was teaching me how to leave without looking back.